Hello, right, I'm back in the shed, yay. This part is still a complete mess, still a dumping ground of stuff. If we come through into the main part, you can see I've been cutting these panels to size, putting them there. I moved all the racking across, which was all in this corner so I could work in here. But yeah, I've been held up with progress because I was waiting for the damp-proof membrane that I want to put up across this wall. And finally, it's arrived. So here it is. This unassuming package, which is incredibly heavy, is the membrane, which is going to cover this wall behind these panels and some of this wall and floor. The only real current issue with damp is a little bit of kind of ingress from the base of that wall. So we're going to cover all of that and this entire wall with that. So my task, I think, for this video is going to be to remove all those panels that are just held up there. They're not fixed in place, and attach the damp-proof membrane and see how we get on. So anyway, how are you all? I hope you had a good Christmas and enjoyed celebrating the new year. Happy New Year 2023. I'm hoping this will be a big year for us. You know, we've got the app nearing completion and ready to launch. We've got the new house, obviously. We're going to get this set up as a new office and storage. It's going to be an exciting year. It's going to be a busy year. When are we not busy, right? Yeah, okay. It's going to be a busier year than last year. But yes, I hope you're all well. And a big shout out to Gadget Man, who incredibly kindly sent me a new Bosch, it's a drill stroke power screwdriver. I haven't had a play around with it yet, but if you're watching, Gadget Man, thank you so much. I know I've sent you a message already, but yeah, so excited to try this out. So maybe we'll get this going today. I don't know if it's got any power in. Oh, it does. Oh, hello. So yeah, we'll be able to use that a little bit later. For attaching the damp-proof membrane, I think I'm going staple gun, because I want it to come from here so I can staple it across here, and then it can just drape down here, round, down to the floor and out past the base of the wood is going to be my plan, I think. So really, I just need to hold it up, hold the top edge in place along that beam, is my thinking. That's the current plan anyway. But in order to get all the way down here, I now have to remove these panels, which I just screwed with a couple of screws into place to check that they fitted okay and get access to that wall. So I'll come back to you in a minute. Okay, so I've moved all the panels out of the way. Let's get my ear defenders out of the way as well. So we have access all the way to the end now. Can I just say, I think I said in the last video that cutting these panels in would be a quick and easy job. Never say that, because it's never true. This floor is so uneven. Nothing's square, nothing's level. So yes, not an easy job. Anyway, so I guess now get this open and figure out how on earth we're going to attach it. Right, so I want to be careful not to cut the actual membrane, obviously. Right, okay, this is going to be huge. Right, I'm going to pop you up there, give you a bit of a wider angle. Okay, so it's so long since I ordered this, I couldn't even tell you the dimensions I ordered. Enough to do the job, one hopes. It keeps going. Right, what have we got here? Yeah, this is going to be logistically tricky. Whether I cut it into sections and mount them, hang on, whether I might cut it into sections and do a section at a time, I don't know. I'm going to have to just play about. Maybe I'll get it all in place and then pin it. I don't know. I'm going to have to figure this out as I go. I have never done a job like this. I've never installed damp proofing on a wall. It's a case of see what works and make it up as you go along. But yeah, that is a huge, huge thing. I mean, yeah. Okay. I'll have a think and a mess about, and I'll get back to you when I have some sort of a plan. So I have laid it out, and I have enough to do all the way along this wall and then all the way to the end in the darkness down there. So I think I can do it all as one. I would rather do that than cut it up and do it in sections. So let's just check on the height that I've got. Now from what I remember when I ordered it, there was a minimum height and it was more than I needed, so there should be ample to go. I want to go up to, on this wall I want to go up to that beam and pin it, which is the same height as the one that's at the bottom of the roof there. So I'm pretty sure we got more than enough, but I'll check that in a sec. And costings wise, I think I spent, was it about £25 on this, which isn't a great deal really. The current running total I've spent on materials for in here is a fraction over 200. That's on all the boarding that we've been using and the damp proof membrane. So let's quickly check I've got enough height. I'm pretty confident we do. There's loads of it. There's another fold at the bottom as well. Oh my goodness, yeah. I could do to the top if I wanted to, but what I will do is come out across the floor, I think. I don't think I need to save any for anywhere else, although I could do that. I could trim it to size and use it elsewhere. Actually, that's probably a wise move. Yeah, I'll have a think on that, but I think that's what I'll do. I'll cut it so I've got enough to come down the wall and out, say, 18 inches or something. And then the offcuts I can use in other places. Yeah, that's probably wise. Well, that was what I call a right faff. But we're getting there. So I have stapled this along the top here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the rest of it, the excess, until I board this and then trim it all off at that point. I didn't leave myself enough room to work in there really. It's ridiculous. But I'm going to carry on pinning this all the way down to the corner. So maybe I'll get you set up over here and we'll do a little bit of time lapse because everybody loves a time lapse. And here we see the middle-aged DIY enthusiast in his natural environment marvel at his fairly average skills. Doesn't look great, but it doesn't have to. It's just going to be behind the panelling that's up there, stopping the damp coming through. It certainly warmed me up. Can I quickly say, as I said in the last video, please do not think I am an expert and I'm telling you how to do this stuff. And also, I know this probably isn't to building regulations and all of that. All I'm doing right now is making this a more dry, warm and better place to store stock in and work in. It's just going to be a glorified shed. This is not the conversion we plan to do in the future of this entire space to an Airbnb. That will be a whole other level of work. This is just, yeah, deal with the damp issue over there as best I can. Anyway, let's take a closer look. So as I said, it's not pretty, but it doesn't have to be. The beam that was here is here. I'll put a few staples just to hold it in place there. And then when the boards go back on, we will come across the floor, past the end of the board, and then cut it to size, will be the plan there. Whereas when I come along this back wall, I'm going to come out on the floor further because we do have an issue on this back wall. So I will probably bring the damp-proof membrane out. I don't know, maybe further than I thought before, maybe a couple of feet, 3 foot, something like that. Yeah, but there we go. So I think I'll carry on now, do this bit, get it pinned all the way to the end. Mana, mana, boop, boop, ba-da-doo. Mana, mana, boop, ba-da, boop. Right, just stop there. I've got a few pesky screws that are sticking out here. So I need to deal with those because if I put this damp proofing across, if I come to board here, they're going to be a pain in the neck. Now I was just thinking as well, I hadn't intended to board this back wall. So I don't know, it's going to look very odd though, having the black membrane up there. So perhaps I will end up doing that. Not sure. Perhaps I'll get another couple of sheets and we will board this back wall. Yeah. Can you tell that despite thinking about this a lot and planning, it's kind of a see what works and make it up as you go along kind of situation. Anyway, I'll get that last bit pinned up once I've sorted out these screws. And then that is that job done. And then I can get very busy putting all of these panels up. I've got a couple that I needed to cut to size for this end that weren't fitting quite right. And then it's really going to start taking shape. Once that's in, we can move these to along that wall where they're going to be, which will then give us space to build the big table that's coming out here. And we can then get on with the worktop that's going to go from the sink that is down there all the way along here. And then the other job I want to do in phase 1 of this work is a shelf coming all the way along there, coming out, and we'll end around where that beam is. So yeah, anyway, let me crack on. Hello, it's now the next day, and I wish I could be saying, I hope you enjoyed that epic time lapse I just showed you. But it helps if you click go on the time lapse button before you spend ages finishing a wall, which I have now done. So you can't see any of the process of me doing this in fast motion because I messed that up. But we have a completed wall. Yeah, I'm very happy. I think I said earlier, I thought this would be a pretty quick job once I had the damp proofing in, but it wasn't. It was a right fiddle. Well, you'll be able to see here, I had to cut all of this in because this was lower towards the end. The floor was very uneven down here and along here. I've had to, do some fiddling about here, and you might be able to see here where I have fun and games because, nothing was square, nothing was even, but it is all up. It is all very nice and solid. I'm really happy. It's done. We can now move on. And it's already noticeably warmer in here. Maybe that's because I've been working hard. Yeah, it might be that. I'm boiling. But it's going to make a huge difference. That wall was cold and damp. And yes. Anyway, that's a huge job. And now I'm going to get these out of the way and put them where they're going to be. We think we have a date for all of the stock that I have bought to arrive. It's going to be the day after we get back from the meetup, I think is the plan currently. So I don't have a lot of time. The meetup is the 14th. We come back on the Sunday, the 15th. So I think we're looking at the 16th. 16th. Put your teeth in. So I've got till then, until a van full of stuff is going to arrive at my house. So this place has to be ready to receive that. So that's what I'm working towards. But there we go. Let me know what you thought. Also, thank you for people who corrected my mistake before when I called this chipboard. Yes, it is OSB. Whatever that stands for. I'm sure somebody will let me know. But to me, it's chipboard. Whew. Well, I think I'll leave you there. I'm going to carry on. I'll pop another video up here in this blank space. Please click on this one if it looks fun. Take care, and I will do another shed update for you all soon. Ta-ra!